Okay, before we begin on the stream, I got a couple of little cold reads to do for Welcome to Wrexham, so bear with me for a second. Hey, it's Wrexham time. Wrexham against Wycombe Wanderers. Rob and Ryan are here today, of course. It's a sort of increased sense of jeopardy as we return to League One. League One will be physically harder. A lot of people say they'd be happy with consolidation this season. I won't be, because I think, if nothing else, Rob and Ryan have taught me to dream. Welcome to Wrexham. Wrexham against Wycombe Wanderers. Rob and Ryan here today, of course. There's an increased sense of jeopardy as we return to League One. League One will be physically harder. A lot of people say they'd be happy with consolidation this season. Well, I won't be. I think, if nothing else, because Rob and Ryan have taught me to dream. One last go. Hey, that was awful. It's Wrexham time. Wrexham against Wycombe Wanderers. Rob and Ryan are here today, of course. It's a sort of increased sense of jeopardy as we return to League One. League One will be physically harder. A lot of people say they'd be happy with consolidation this season. I won't be, because I think, if nothing else, Rob and Ryan have taught me to dream. Okie dokie, let's crack on with the actual game today. Hello, I'm Mark Griffiths. Welcome to Wrexham on iFollow, and welcome to full commentary of Wrexham against Bolton Wanderers. Oh, these are the sort of fixtures we got back from the National League for, frankly. Wrexham up against a team which traditionally has always been a major one in British football. The last few years, not quite so much, although I was delighted to see just when I came up to my seat now that 2 seats on from me, commentating for Bolton, is John McGinley, a wonderful player for them in their last peak, really. In the 80s and 90s, a superb striker and a lovely bloke as well. It was nice to say hello to him. Well, the current Bolton team came into this season, of course, as favourites for promotion, but had a poor start, very poor home record for them, and Ian Evatt eventually paid the cost. In early January, the manager lost his job. In has come Stephen Schumacher, and he has done a very impressive start. 5 games so far. He's won the last 3 matches in the league. Their only defeats were his first match when they lost 1-0 at Reading, by all accounts gave a good account of themselves, and here at the racecourse in the Virtue Trophy. We rotated our team, so did they. To be honest, we rotated more, and we were able to come out with the victory. Let's not talk about what happened afterwards in the Virtue Trophy, shall we? So Bolton come here on good form. Schumacher, a manager who clearly is very sharp when it comes to making in-game alterations and making tactical tweaks. He's started games with both 4 and 3 at the back. He's changed systems during matches. He does what he can to squeeze a result out. Interesting considering that he actually hasn't rotated his team today. Only 1 change in the side that won a massive promotion game against another in-form side, Leyton Orient. Orient, of course, came straight from beating us at the racecourse. A very impressive performance by them. To then going to Bolton, but Bolton defeated them. And so as the teams come out, a big match here at the top of League One. And of course not the only one, because as well as this match, we have got Birmingham and Wycombe, the top 2, facing off at the same time as this game. So we'll keep you in touch of how that game's going. Obviously, they're the sides that we're chasing. Well, maybe Wycombe are the side we're chasing, aren't they? Birmingham, well, we wish you well, Birmingham, to do us a favour and beat Wycombe, will you? Let's have a look at those teams then. Wrexham, after rotating and losing in midweek on penalties, revert close to the side that won against Mansfield. So it's Arthur Okonkwo in goal. The back three, Max Cleworth at right back. Right side mid centre back. Left side of centre back is Tom O'Connor, and in the middle, Owen O'Connell. Wing backs on the right, Ryan Longman. On the left, Seb Revan, who of course was magnificent at Mansfield, wasn't he, last Sunday. In midfield, Matty James anchors, Ollie Rathbone and George Dobson, and then up front, that new combination again, Jay Rodriguez and Sam Smith. On the bench for Wrexham, Mark Howard. Back in the squad, James McLean, Jack Marriott, Dan Scarr, Stephen Fletcher, Ryan Barnett and Elliot Lee. Bolton make one change, as I said, from the side that beat Orient. Luke Southwood is in goal. Josh Dakers-Cogley at right back, Alex Murphy at left back, Will Forrester and George Johnston are the central defenders. They got quality and experience in midfield. Josh Sheehan, Aaron Morley, and then looking to get forwards, Aaron Collins. And on the flanks, it was interesting to see that Sammy Schön, who's been playing as a left back, indeed plays left back for Hungary, played the last match going forwards on the right. George Asay Tutu on the left, and through the middle, the talented John McAtee. On the bench for them, Nathan Baxter, Owen Toole, centre-back coming back from injury. George Thomason is a quality midfielder. Jay Mateta, Clyde Lolos, Joel Randall and Carlos Mendes Gomez. Lots of quality on the bench for them. As we're about to get going, Mia and Andy have come up from their pitchside duties on the club's YouTube channel. Of course, you can hear them at half-time and after the match, analysing the game. But this feels like a big occasion. It would do, wouldn't it, if Bolton come to town?
Yeah, it's a massive game. Obviously, still 14 games or so left, but this one feels really big. Obviously, early kick-off as well. You know, hoping we can put the pressure on the others around us. I know Wickham are also the early kick-off, but feels big. You know, looking at that Bolton side, really in form. A lot of players in really good form, the likes of McAtee especially. But Schön on this right-hand side, like you touched on, Mark, out on this right wing. Played winger, I think, in his youth days and has sort of grown into this position more at Bolton. You know, really going to test Reven going forward.
Absolutely, it'll be fascinating. That battle is away we go. Southwood launches it long, and it's flicked on and out for a throw to Wrexham. I've got to say this, and I've got to say it now. Schumacher has done really well since he's come in for Bolton. He's been in charge of 5 games. They've conceded first in all of them. So let's see if we can't keep that run going as Smith is battling away. Rodriguez does well to charge the ball down, and he nearly got in there. It was a really good last-ditch tackle. Dobson wins it back high at the pitch. Revan quickly to the edge of the area. Rathbone is pressured and has to hold on to the ball. The fans ask for a foul. Rathbone doesn't. O'Connor sets himself, swings in the ball. Smith got up a bit early, can't win it. It's cleared back to O'Connor. Good start this for Wrexham. O'Connor down the line. Revan tries to nick it beyond his man. Dakers-Cogley does well to hook it partly clear, but James controls his header well. Revan unlucky, tries to nod them down, puts it out of play. Fast start by Wrexham.
Yeah, exactly the start we need. We need to be right at them today. We're talking about it on Matchday Live. One of the points Andy was making is we haven't been, you know, really going at teams as of late, especially at home. We need to use the atmosphere that's going to be loud today.
Throw in taken, O'Connor heads it up in the air. Good work by James to win it back, and O'Connell feeds it, looking for Smith, doesn't find him. Ball's driven back over the top by Forrester, but Wrexham clear. Sheehan now, tidy, experienced midfielder, gives it away sloppily in the centre circle. Ball doesn't bounce kindly for Dobson, so he has to go backwards. Cleworth looking down the flank is inaccurate. Throw into Bolton.
Yeah, we've just fell on a couple of second balls, haven't we, there? It's been very, very good start. What we haven't done, I felt we've just been under a bit of pressure in the last couple of games at home, especially. They've just put balls on us and we've not dealt with them, but we've certainly managed to pick up a couple of second balls. A couple of sloppy passes from Bolton has enabled us to get on the front foot.
As Rodriguez tries to feed it down the line and wins a throw-in. It's interesting just think what you were saying, Mia, about Schön and Revan, and then of course there's Dakers-Cogley, who's really good getting up from full-back as well. That side of the pitch is going to be really interesting, I think.
Yeah, well, we've seen in the last few games of Bolton, Stephen Schumacher just changing from a 3 to a 4, sorry. And I thought he might go back to that 3 today to match Wrexham, but they've gone much more attacking.
As Longman got his pass wrong there, playing it backwards. Cleworth did well to just nick the ball away from Collins, or Wrexham could have been in trouble. Dacres Cogley turns, dangerous thing to do, and he's tackled by Rodriguez. Smith, I think, would have been offside if it came through to him, but instead the ball ricochets wide, and Longman manages to nick the ball away from his man and has it on the level of the edge of the area, sweeps the ball in. It's headed clear comfortably by Morley. O'Connor is there to win the header again. Revan now has got Rathbone inside him, looks to turn outside Dacres Cogley, and in the end Wrexham get a throw in, although Dacres Cogley twice, Revan's backed into him, and he seems to be grabbing hold of Revan, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think that, if he could have complained a bit more, maybe would have been in the chance of winning the foul, because he definitely had hold of his shirt.
We'll go down. Make it difficult. If you just buy it a little bit, you stop in your tracks, they'll run into the back of you. You can buy yourself a little bit of time and buy yourself a free kick. Yeah,
he's getting really tight, but if he's tugging his shirt, maybe it looks a bit more subtle, but he seems to be grabbing his arm, doesn't he, and holding him back. And that's good work in midfield to win the ball back by Matty James. I beg your pardon, Longman it was. And Wrexham being pressed for the first time in their own half. Cleworth thinks about going back to Okonkwo, in the end he knocks it off his man for a throw. Well, that to be Ajo up front for Bolton last time was really impressive, but he's picked up an injury in that win against Orient. Still, with McAtee up front, there's plenty of quality for Bolton as the throw-in's taken, and Collins and other players come back from injury, touches it on. Wrexham clear. Ball driven away again by Forrester. O'Connell is fouled. May well be offside as well. Anyway, shame that, because Rathbone gets it like a little wind-up toy and just gets his head down and starts sprinting with it, but free kick's given.
Yeah, Owen O'Connell actually did well to readjust. He's totally off balance to just get a nick on the ball. I know it would have been offside.
So free kick to Wrexham just inside our own half. O'Connell lofts it long. Smith in the air again. It bounces beyond him, and Revan is again able to scoop up the second ball. Dacres Cogley didn't do a very tidy job of dealing with that. Revan wins the throw, level the edge of the box. It's good front foot stuff this from Wrexham, and the second ball certainly are, as Andy said, going our way, although Rathbone's return ball to Revan is poor, throw into Bolton.
Yeah, just a bit close to him, I thought there. You don't give yourself any chance of, if you have a slightly poor touch, it's out of play. What I do like though is first time Longman's had it, he's gone for him. First, he's gone 1v1, kind of get a crossing, chops back on his left foot, puts a left foot cross in, just gets cleared by the first man, but his thought and his intent is there to full see.
Yeah, he is a real sort of front foot forward wing back, isn't he? And we talked about the battle on one side of the pitch, but him against Osei Tutu is going to be equally interesting, as Dacres Cogley is subtly creeping up the pitch in his role. In the end, O'Connor gets there and goes down holding his face. I think he felt that there was an arm that caught him from McAtee. It certainly wasn't deliberate. Referee comes across to warn Dacres Cogley to not try and steal yards this time. He throws it in short. That's nice movement by Schön, but he attempts an early ball wide to Osei Tutu, which he doesn't get right. O'Connell clears and McAtee clattered into him. Free kick in the D.
We could have played on if he'd have just taken a little scan, the ref, over his shoulder, because it went straight to Sam Smith's chest. But he brought it back.
O'Connor's just come over. Well, I wasn't sure if he was asking to have that knock to the face seen, but he seems to be handing something over to the bench. This ball's not long. Revan is nudged off the ball by Dacres Cogley, throwing to Bolton.
Yeah, I've just seen that McAtee one back. It's quite a cynical one, really. Probably knows exactly the ball's gone, just leaves one in on Owen O'Connell.
Yeah, you're right.
You get away with those in the first 20 minutes, don't you? Forrester feeds the ball back to his goalkeeper. Southwood, and now Bolton come out from the back once more with Sheehan. They've yet to really lay a glove on Wrexham. As the ball is fed on to McAtee, pops it back to Schön. Poor touch by him. Good tackle by O'Connor. Revan can't hold on to it, but he's working hard and he forces a loose pass from McAtee. Rathbone, no, hesitates, and McAtee nicks it from him. And Dobson lunges in and catches him. Free kick to Bolton, about 30 yards out in a central position.
Well, he just needs a shout, Rathbone, or a little look. Gets no help from his teammates, and McAtee's able to steal it from the blind side. If he gets a little shout, he's able to then manipulate the ball and get his body in between it. Also, he could have just left it, probably just left it in there over the back, let Longman have a little race with the fullback.
Remember, you can get in touch with us using the hashtag AskWrexham, ASKWXM on Blue Sky and X. As Wrexham have everyone back now to defend this free kick. You say it's too far out for a shot. Wrexham hold a line on the edge of the box. Centre backs are up as Sheehan signals and dinks that ball into the edge of the area. First contact by Bolton, but Revan does well to get it partly away. Cogley feeds it back into midfield. Sheehan back to the halfway line. Wrexham start to step out, but Sheehan clips it back over the top. Looking for McAtee, very difficult pass to execute. I think that's what McAtee is saying. Give me a bit of an angle to run onto it. It goes through to a Okonkwo. Cleworth down the line. Longman on the halfway line. Back to Cleworth as Wrexham again look to draw Bolton out. They like to press, and they have stepped out obligingly. Rodriguez lays it off. Longman back to him. Now Rathbone's gone for the middle and made space on the flank. Intelligent ball by Rodriguez. Revan swings in an early cross, and Rathbone does well to get to it, but can't do much more but flick it towards goal. Easy take for the keeper.
Well played, Wrexham, because they've just got Jay Rodriguez on it a couple of times in there. Really clever play, and then he's able to get it out to Revan, who then nice cross, little deflection, which actually drops it into Rathbone's lap, really, but rather than bring it down, he just goes for a little flick, and it doesn't quite work out. But nice to see Rathbone getting into the box off the back of Seb Revan having a little chance to put the ball in.
Yeah, exactly, and if you're getting that movement going of Rodriguez dropping off and Revan running into that space, then you're going to cause problems, aren't you? As Matty James is penalised, he was digging away at Shern. Referee had seen enough of that. Free kick to Bolton in their own half, which they take quickly. Forrester feeding it across to Thompson. And Bolton again looking to move the ball around in their own half. In the end, the pass rather hurries Thompson, and it's offside. McAtee coming back from an offside position, trying to nick the ball away from O'Connell.
Well, that's decent play, because they can see, the back three can see the front 3 or 4 going and pressing, and so what that does is that the defender has to play quickly, can't play with any quality, and so they can be really front foot as well. And it's very unlikely that they're going to go just smash it down and over your head if Okonkwo's position is decent as well.
That's a nice move and a half chance for Smith. O'Connell with the free kick. Rodriguez won it well. It sat nicely for Smith, but he just mistimed his swing and it came off his standing foot and through to the keeper.
Yeah, it was a really nice header from Jay Rodriguez and just didn't quite sit up, I don't think, for Sam Smith. Maybe a bit later on in the game, maybe he takes that nicer.
The ball bounces through to Okonkwo. There was a lot of muttering in the crowd because it was a free kick for offside and O'Connell took it in the Bolton half. That's the rule now, though. It's where the player interferes at play that the free kick's taken. I don't know why. But anyway, here's Wrexham. That's a nice move now. Can they open it up? Revan's in space. But the pass doesn't come. But Wrexham get a free kick. Longman cutting inside, just couldn't get his head up and see where he was. But he does draw the foul.
Really nice play, really good rotation. I think Sam Smith's just gone out on that right and Longman's tucked in. And it just leaves Bolton a bit confused of which man they're taking. But he just can't quite get his head up in the end and get that ball over to Seb. On that left-hand side, you can see exactly he's going to do it before he gets taken out.
Good noise coming from the Wrexham end. The SToK Cold Brew Coffee end, as Wrexham now have this free kick. About 35-40 yards out, chance to put something into the penalty area. Rathbone floats it in. O'Connell is up there, wins his header. It drops to Cleworth, plays it back. James's shot takes a deflection. First corner of the game.
Well, the full stand bathed in sunshine today. It's lovely not to have a coat on and a bobble hat on, isn't it? Doing the co-coms.
Yeah, thank goodness they're not getting drizzled.
Spring
on
is here.
Yeah. Yeah. And a really good crowd in there as well. Enjoying the sunshine. Rathbone spots the ball up. Wrexham crowd the penalty area. Crowd the goalmouth, in fact. Bolton with everybody back. Rathbone signals with both hands. Sweeps it into the near post. Cogley heads it away. And McAtee brings that down well on the edge of the area. He's pulled back by Matty James, and the referee will bring out the first yellow card of the match. Yeah, stopped a breakaway there. Reasonable decision by the ref, I'd argue.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because I thought we could come onto the ball that was dropping on the edge of the box, and we didn't really get a chance. A really lovely touch as it comes out, and I think James has got to, hasn't he? They'll break in. Takes one for the team.
So free kick. James picks up a yellow. And Bolton again looking to control possession, build from deep. Now it's knocked over the top. Looking for McAtee. O'Connell does well to nod it clear. But it'll come back in again. McAtee on the left-hand side. Flings it in, looking for Collins. Good header again by O'Connell. But it comes back again, recirculated to the right flank. Dacres-Cogley will keep it in, level the edge of the area. Running at Revan. Pulls it backwards. Schön helps it on one more. Wrexham, though, good pressure on the ball. Schön cuts inside, goes down much too easily. Rathbone tackles him. And in the end, Bolton are forced back to the halfway line. They've kept the ball moving from right to left, though. Helped on by Thompson. Good foot in by Longman. Throw to Bolton. Kept our shape well there, I thought.
Yeah, just didn't allow that space to open up for any of the runners for Bolton. Did really well just to keep that shape really nicely. And then I think George Dobson's maybe got a shout as if it has actually taken a nick off the Bolton player, but Bolton throw.
So it's a throw into the halfway line. Sheehan working it back into his own half. Johnston to the keeper, Southwood, and now it's Dacres-Cogley rolling it into the halfway line. Collins lays it off nicely. Schön cuts inside and plays an expansive spread out to the left-hand side. And now, as a result of that, Osei Tutu can use the overlap, and it's a throw-in right by the corner flag to Bolton. Alex Murphy looking to put the ball in. Wrexham having to focus on defensive play for the first time in the match. It's Murphy with the ball in his hands, waiting for movement. Picks up in the end by Collins. And Collins put under good pressure. That's, well, looked like a Bolton throw. It's gone Wrexham's way, but Longman's working hard when he hasn't got the ball. He's made a couple of nice little challenges and forced a couple of mistakes.
Well, it's probably unusual for him to have to run back, you know, and play that wing-back role. So it's new. He's learning every game. And he's certainly worked hard back a couple of times to make those challenges, and he's going to have to.
He's shown his quality with the ball at his feet, hasn't he? And that's the element of the game that maybe he needs to work on a little bit. But then you'd have said the same about Ryan Barnett, I think, when he arrived. And I think he's a very secure defender. Now he uses his pace really well. Throw for Wrexham. About 25 yards out. Longman bouncing the ball very studiedly and then throws it in quickly. O'Connell back to him. Wrexham are forced back into our own half. O'Connell has to find Okonkwo. Pings it at him a little bit. Bit of excitement in the crowd. He was, well, you would hope he wasn't going to have a problem with that. Okonkwo knocks it long and Smith wins the header. Longman is high up the pitch and brings it down beautifully, but then his pass is inaccurate, doesn't find Dobson, and Dobson's beaten by Osei Tutu, but not for long. Cleworth able to step in. Okonkwo goes long again. Longman scrapping for it, really scrappy little spell of play. There's the Dobson fell over, but it's won back well again. This time by Cleworth, and Dobson, good vision, gets it out from that little crowded area to Revan. Revan feeds it square for Rathbone, and it's a really good piece of recovery work to beat Rathbone to it by Morley. Ball's cleared, O'Connor knocks it back in there. Wrexham can't quite get to the second ball, and flag's gone up as well for offside. Yeah, a little scrappy little passage of play, which probably won't hurt Bolton because they've, we've been living in their half first 10 minutes, haven't we?
Well, it was a great pass by Rathbone out to Revan here, and Morley does ever so well to get ball side of Rathbone as he makes that run into the channel to defend it, because as it rolled in, you're expecting Revan to come again.
Dacres-Cogley now has a bit of space. Revan decides he's going to step up. That allows Dacres-Cogley to roll it down the line to Schön, who cuts inside. Pops it back into his own half. Forrester into Sheehan, who's always available, and pops a nice ball out to McAtee on the right. Good ball down the flank and the chance for Shearn to cross. Now uses right foot, wins a corner. Revan got back well. But yeah, Bolton just starting to get a grip of possession here, just starting to get us around the back of the wing backs.
Well, Shearn on this right-hand side, not comfortable on his right. He wants to be on his left. That's why he's cutting in a little bit more, but they're still playing him on the wing and he looks to cross it on his right. A good block by Revan to get back. It's just the timing of how we deal with those wide men, and does Revan step on, leave his man Tom O'Connor come across to play that left back role, if you like, when they're in possession.
So here comes the corner, away swinger. Sheehan will deliver. And he puts it in flat to their 6-yard box. Important interception by Rodriguez. And he pumps it long, and Smith is on the chase. Dacres Cogley will beat him to it and feed the back pass. It was a Cae's idea, but Rodriguez is very quick to spot it. The fans applauding Smith for chasing the ball back to the keeper, as Johnson, just for a second, I wondered if he knew Smith was there coming back into midfield. He nearly turned into him, but Bolton have it. Sheehan looks to play the early ping out to the wing and puts it out of play, gets it wrong, but Shearn applauds the idea. O'Connor then. Done that a couple of times, haven't they? Just looks like they're being patient, and then they really try to put the pace into the move for the first time. Ripped ball over to the flank. Throw in taken, headed away by Dacres Cogley. Rothbone wins the second ball well. Smith uses his body well to chest it down, but he can't get enough on it. And in the end, O'Connell heads it out for a throw to Bolton, 10 yards short the halfway line.
Yeah, it's just settled down the game a little bit, hasn't it, after that fairly frantic first 10 minutes.
Now then, Rathbone picks up a loose ball from Morley, and Wrexham quickly shift it across. Longman made a run for James. He didn't use him, but he's fed a nice little ball rolled into his feet now. Longman back onto the halfway line. James whips a nasty ball in there. It's touched backwards, and Rathbone just beaten to it. What a lovely touch by Smith, and Rathbone looking to run onto it and hit it. Couldn't quite get there. Flick by Longman, looking for Cleworth on the overlap. Just beaten to us on the edge of the area. Good pressure this by Wrexham, and then they're just hacked out for a throw.
Well, it was James with the forward pass because he had nothing else on really, and he just put it in an area. And Smith does, like you say, get a good touch. Just Ollie Rathbone just a little bit too far off it to pick up that second ball off him. But it's really quick thinking by James, because he had very, very little to go at, and he had the ball in no space at all. Just plays it in behind, asks a question of this Bolton defence.
Wrexham from the throw then. 30 yards out on the right-hand side. As Cleworth does well, runs centrally, manages to pivot and dig out a pass to Dobson, and he changes the angle of the attack. O'Connor now driving through the middle, looks to pick out Longman on the flank, but too much on that. Nice idea, but didn't quite get it right.
Yeah, the execution not quite right, but I think he slips in the process of as he plays it. But Phil Parkinson spoke in the interview before the game with us about how he's looking for his left or right sided Cleworth and O'Connor to step in when we do get a chance down their side to make those overlaps and that extra man, and how progressive they were at Mansfield with it. So can we do it again here?
And the throw in, Wrexham fight to win it back. McAtee just about nicks it away from O'Connell, who took a big swing at it. Luckily he didn't make contact with McAtee, and now O'Connor is striding forwards well, finds Revan. O'Connor's gone on, is offering on the edge of the area. Then he makes a little run over the top, but Revan can't play that pass. He can get a 1-2 going to Rathbone though, and puts it across him, which is too close to the keeper. Although to be fair, Rodriguez made the right run across the keeper, didn't quite get there, but promising again from Wrexham.
Yeah, really unlucky, I think, in the end. I think Raven just puts it a bit too close to Southwood in goal. But again, really nice move, just doesn't force anything, just waits until Rathbone's in that space, and Rathbone plays that lovely little 1-2 with him. Unlucky, really. Like you say, Rodriguez made the right run.
O'Connor wins the header from the clearance, and it's helped on well by Dobson. Ball's cleared though, and O'Connell feeds it back to Okonkwo. Okonkwo lets it roll back almost to the goal line before knocking it long on the right flank. And Wrexham don't win that header. I'll say Tutu's beaten in the air by Cleworth, and oh my word, great vision that by Dobson, who pulls out another switch, and now Revan's got a chance to drive forward. Smith runs down the line and offers, receives it, level the edge of the area. Revan makes a run into the box, instead the cross comes in, falls to Rodriguez, hits it, what a save! I think the ref's given a foul, has he? To Bolton on the edge of the area, but Rodriguez did brilliantly to get that shot off, and it was a hell of a save. Not sure what he gave that for, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I'm not too sure either.
It was a nice move. Smith.
I think, yeah. Can't quite make out who it is going into the box that just eases one of the Bolton defenders out the way. But great touch.
And Wrexham win it again. Right-hand side, the ball's fed down the flank. Longman's got space to cross this. Swoops it in early. Smith! Oh, misses. Well, free header, 6 yards out. Bit like Manny Fernandez on Wednesday. Tries to head it downwards and heads it down too much, and it bounces back up over the bar.
Yeah, it's a brilliant cross from Longman. Brilliant press from Wrexham to begin with, to win that ball back using that bit of momentum we've picked up in the last couple of minutes. And yeah, he just heads it down, doesn't he? He just gets it wrong. I'm not sure whether maybe he's not expecting it to get to him through the Bolton players, but big chance.
The sun is that side, so does he just take his eye off the ball? But like looks like he was up, and then he was down. Yeah, he just stoops to it, doesn't he? Just didn't quite pick up the flight of it early enough. But what a cross. Blimey, with pace and everything right into the mixer.
You can't leave Longman with time to set himself on the wing, can you? He's got such quality on those crosses. Here is Smith now wrestling and battling and looks to be fall to the ground. He complains, but the decision isn't given. And O'Connell's got a nasty one as the backspin causes an issue. O'Connell's done well to come across and help him out. He then slices the ball out of play. Throwing to Bolton just inside Wrexham's half, right-hand side. Yeah, it's a big chance for Smith, that. But just couldn't find a finish. One of those, I'm about to say this as somebody who never scored a goal in his life. You just sort of think he's trying to put something on it to beat the keeper as Rathbone chips over the top. Smith's well offside, doesn't chase it. He's trying to put something on it back across the keeper and downwards to beat him, but that close in, probably just making any sort of proper contact would probably be a goal.
Yeah, exactly that. You just need to let it hit you, really, more than anything. You don't need to generate any pace because it's all on the cross. And if you just gauge it and you just put it back, the keeper's obviously in that position at the front.
Here's Collins trying the shot, puts it wide. O'Connell's header didn't have distance. And Collins maybe showing a little bit better there.
Well, if you look at the bounce of it when it lands in front of him, the header from O'Connell just lands and takes like a little leg spinner out right in front of him and just sort of sets him, and he just can't wrap his left foot around it. Hits it well enough. We get a couple of bodies close enough to put him off.
It's a goal kick. Okonkwo to take, still no score here at the SToK Cae Ras, 26th minute. Again, it's one of those games where you look at it and you think, yeah, okay, these look like two decent teams here. And Bolton, like I said, are in good form. Schumacher has made an impact. As it's a good little touch on by Rodriguez. And Smith's done well to help it wide to Longman again, running at his man. He pulls it back. Cleworth drills in an early cross. Smith beaten to it in the air by Forrester. Revan fighting back, hit his hand up. Unintentional, but his arm was out from his body. It's a correct decision by the ref. On Blue Sky, we had a question. Chip Pate saying, is anything special happening at the Cae Ras or in town for St. David's Day? And for St. David's Day, the bright sunshine is a nice touch. Oh, you have connections in high places, St. David does. There's a parade in town today. I know that. And the team sheet has daffodils on the top of it. And Happy St. David's Day. So, fair play. I sound like I'm diminishing that, and I'm not intending to. I'm sorry. Kick taking long. O'Connor heads it back in. Smith finds Rathbone as well to nod it back to Smith, who sorts his feet out. Dobson quickly out to Revan, and he pops a cute first-time ball to Smith, who comes out wide and keeps it in. A big man, Rathbone. Rathbone up against his man. Rolls it into the box. This is good work by Wrexham. Matty James tries to lay it back. Good interception, though. He was tracked back well, but a poor pass out from the back. O'Connor grabs it, runs towards the D. He's tackled. Revan tries to pick it up. And a loose ball falls to Rathbone. Wrexham really hemming Bolton in now. Cleworth has got Longman demanding it and receiving it. Cleworth's gone beyond him. Longman sweeps in the cross and again headed partly away. Revan tries a volley and it goes wide. Keeper tried to keep her in. Good pressure again, good intensity from Wrexham.
Yeah, really good, just penning Bolton in, not letting them get a touch of that ball. As soon as they do, we're right on them again and just putting that ball straight back in their area. But just unlucky. Revan tries the audacious attempt. I think it just takes a nick, doesn't it? It takes all the sting out of it.
As Revan does well again there, cutting between two men, draws the free kick. He's building on that performance at Mansfield, Revan. He's doing well.
Yeah, we've just got to be brave. When we get the ball out wide, we need O'Connor to just step in and Cleworth to step in at the same time. We've got O'Connell marking McAtee in the middle with James in front of him, so that's our protection there. These two have to pick up those second balls when they're cleared out and we can really pen them in.
So a chance for Wrexham to put something again. Bolton hold a line outside the box. So there's an inviting little space for O'Connor to try and sweep it in. Rathbone standing offside to try and evade being picked up and Bolton drop back. As O'Connor waits for the referee. He's having a lovely time back there, just running along and waving at the players, as they do before free kicks. Here's O'Connor now. Signals. The referee was staring at the players right in front of him and really intensely, like you don't normally see, rather than looking along the line at all of them, and then missed a Bolton player going down under minimal contact at the other end of the line. So we've had a bit of a delay. Here is the free kick. O'Connor puts it into an inviting area, headed away though. Dobson does well to win it back. Good strength against Osei Tutu. And now he's got a chance 40 yards out, put under pressure by Osei Tutu, though to be fair, works it wide, and again purposeful driving play by Longman, trying to get at his man. Can't get past, but he holds on to it. Good feet by him. O'Connell clips it just as Bolton step up, and it's headed away by Forrester, helped on further by Shearn. Forrester wanted a free kick. I think he had some justification as Bolton try to break, but Cleworth keeps his balance well to intercept from Sheehan. And Wrexham get a handball in midfield off Sheehan as he tries to win it back.
Yeah, that's exactly what we need to do. As soon as Bolton win that ball back, seen it a few times now, they've just tried to hit that long one into McAtee or whoever's that most forward man. Just try and hold it, but O'Connor reads it really well. And O'Connell, just makes sure absolutely no chance of him winning that ball.
You know, on that transition, Shearn had gone, Osei Tutu had gone as well, and they know that if it's bouncing, they just play forward and it can ask a lot of problems. They've just driven the balls into our back three rather than just over the top and leaving it in. That's why it's so important that Okonkwo's position is good to start with.
Free kick comes to nothing and it's driven clear by Bolton. O'Connell being chased by McAtee has to take a safety first approach, sticks it into the crowd. Throw to Bolton about 35 yards out, left hand side. Taken quickly. Back into Johnston on the halfway line. Wrexham in that familiar mid-block, asking Bolton to find a way to work their way through. As now Revan steps up. And the ball in the end goes back to southwards. Birmingham are leading Wycombe Wanderers 1-0. Thank you, Birmingham. Keep it up. Long awkward ball forwards though. O'Connell has to stretch and a bit lucky for Wrexham. His header went loose, but McAtee slipped over and couldn't capitalise. Rathbone with a great footing in midfield. The ball's hacked away for a throw to Wrexham. They love Rathbone, don't they?
Absolutely, but that's the type of ball Andy's talking about for Bolton. If they can just hit it over the top, it means the likes of O'Connell are going to be tracking back, can get caught off balance. Seen a few players already trip over.
Throw taken, but put over Rodriguez's head. And now here's McAtee sweeping an early switch. Doesn't get it right. Longman heads it forwards. It's Murphy now in space in a left-back position. Feeds a nice little pass inside, and I'll say Tutu now is able to run forwards. Murphy's on the overlap, and he rolls him in. Can Murphy hit the cross first time? Oh, he's unlucky. It's a goal kick. Cleworth got a really good block on it on the run, and it ricocheted back and hit Murphy and went behind.
Yeah, well, Cleworth had to stay with him because it came from Longman, who was further up the pitch. He was, to be fair to him, busting a gut to get back, but it did leave Cleworth a bit open. Dobson does well to recover as well, but does really well. Gets it obviously a little bit fortunate to win that goal kick.
Okonkwo then with the goal kick. As Sergeant Hulker on Ask Wrexham, that's a great name, says, who in America is hungover yet up at 7:30 a.m. for a third-tier EFL Welsh Football Club match?
I wish I was.
The in the States bit or the hungover bit or both?
All of it.
Yeah. Sounds reasonable. Throw-in taken. Rodriguez beaten in the air but gets the throw-in.
Yeah, we just had a long ball over the top of O'Connell and he was running in and he had a bit of time. And I think he could have rolled it back to Okonkwo and just taken this thing out, but he decides on hooking it out for a throw-in. I don't know if that is a sign that they don't fully trust Arthur at the moment.
Oh, it's a poor pass in midfield by Wrexham. And Bolton are breaking forwards. Collins completely unmarked in the middle. Schön drives through with his head down. His shot is blocked. Osei Tutu then importantly tackled by O'Connor. Schön had got his head up and rolled Collins in. He was in acres of space through the middle and would have been clear on Okonkwo. As Bolton try and feed it back in. That's a nice pass to the edge of the area. Referee gives the free kick right on in the D, right on the edge of the box. O'Connell stepping in. He felt that Collins went down a bit easily, but the ref's given it, and it's a great position for a shot.
Yeah, but that was a big chance, wasn't it, with Schön? It's Matty James, I think, in the end, who gets back really well, just gets in front of him, keeps his eye on the ball, and I think the ball just gets under Schön's feet a little bit, but he's absolutely right, Mark. If he just gets his head up, Collins is in so much space on that right-hand side, because Owen O'Connell decides to commit to Schön. Probably the right decision in the end. But what a chance, and this is another one from this free kick.
Just looking at the replay, I reckon it is a foul. O'Connell's not happy, but he's, the ball's the other side of Collins and he's snapping his fat across the foot again. He doesn't have to.
Don't think he has to make it, really. He's really tight to him. Just get arms on him, get hands on him. Don't let him do what he wants to do with it, but this is a really good position, straight down the barrel of it, right behind it.
So Wrexham with a 5-player wall, 2 Bolton players on it, Sheehan and Schön. Okonkwo can't have much of a view of this as a Bolton player standing in his path as well. And Sheehan pulls it badly, comes back to him and he tries a shot. Oh, just wide, the corner. Crucial challenge. A Bolton asking for a penalty as the challenge came in on Sheehan. He stayed down. The ref's given the corner.
Yeah, it's not a great free kick to start with. But then Dobson's challenge on him, he's come out. He must have got a piece of the ball because he's followed through.
Oh, he has,
and wiped him out.
Ooh. If I was a Bolton fan, I'd be...
Whether it was in the box or out, I'm not too sure. It was right on the line.
But it was
late, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But he must have got a piece of the ball because it's a corner.
Yeah. You should get a piece of the man as well, Bull. The referee's entitled to give that, I think. But so Wrexham, I think, a little lucky. Corners at the near post, ricochets off the body of O'Connell. It's hooked to the edge of the area, chance for the shot, and it's slashed way over by Schön. He'll send in the bill for the repairs to the scoreboard that he slammed his shot into. But Wrexham will be relieved there. A couple of let-offs as Schön not playing the pass to Collins, and then that shot and the penalty shout. Wrexham will be glad just to take the time over this goal kick, I reckon.
Yeah, they just had a couple of moments, haven't they, Bolton, there? I think Arthur will just take his time. Can you hit Rodriguez now from this kick? Can we get first contact?
Rodriguez got 2 men against him and wins it well. Long one over the top, and Smith is running in here. Edge of the area. Oh, he's gone down a bit too easily, but Revan hits it first time. That's a hell of a block, that. Forrester lunging across, puts it behind for the corner. Good hit by Revan.
Yeah, really good strike from Revan. I thought Smith, I thought that was the one. I thought that was the chance. Just loses balance, I think, in the end. Just maybe a bit undecisive in what he wants to do with that ball. But does really well to get it out to Revan in the end. And Revan's just, like I say, great strike. Just really good block.
Yeah. Goes to ground early, make himself long. I love the ball from Longman, though. It's just a bounce and just lift it over the top. Smith's always looking for that. We should know that by now. Just put him in a race.
Corner then. Rathbone. Steps up right-footed, sweeps it at near post. First defender heads it clear. Revan is there. Rathbone available wide. He hooks it into danger area. Keeper will come and claim that comfortably. The ball's knocked out of his hands, and the referee had given the free kick before O'Connell knocked it into the net. No complaints from Wrexham. The keeper had it under control clearly, and O'Connell had it out of his hands, put it in the net just to make sure. But yeah, we were never going to get away with that one.
Yeah, he does have it in both hands.
Yeah.
Just as he comes down, he comes onto O'Connell's head.
So Bolton coming forwards. O'Connell is there, heads it clear. Now, of course, Luke Southwood has got...
That's actually a good finish, isn't it? Because he does come down and he bounces it into the goal. But I think because the keeper has two hands on it and he doesn't... It's not the ball that he hits, it's the arm as he comes down.
Yeah, he does the right thing, doesn't he, O'Connor? He got a challenge. Sometimes I think keepers are a bit too protected in those sort of situations. Does the right thing, puts the ball in the back of the net, but yeah, definitely a foul.
Does Bolton go long? And one back well. Good work that at the back. And then the ball driven forwards, looking for Smith, who can't win it in the air. But Dobson did well on the cover then. Here he is again in the middle of the pitch, laying it off. Rodriguez trying to come back, pulls his man down. Free kick in the centre circle. And Rodriguez could have got a card for that, frankly. Southwood, like I said, has history with challenges in that goal mouth. He was on loan to Eastleigh in that notorious playoff match when we had a goal disallowed. Sean Pearson made contact with his head, with Southwood's head, with his arm. We scored, the referee disallowed it, and we ended up losing in extra time as Revan fouls his man. Free kick about 30 yards out. Bolton went more than just a free kick, but I don't think Sheehan's going to get his wish. I mean, as a failed goalkeeper myself, I think I sometimes will look for why a foul is given, but that one on Southwood in the playoff game I don't think was a foul. Pearson sort of taps his arm on the top of his head a little bit, doesn't interfere with Southwood's ability to catch it. So yeah, Southwood this time though, no controversy about it. And here's Sheehan with the free kick, not a shooting position, but Bolton have got lots of bodies in the box. Wrexham have to hold the line just ahead of the penalty spot. Sheehan floats it in nicely, and it has evaded everyone. I think goal kick, yep. Into the last 5 minutes of the half, and Wrexham, no, it's been pretty even.
Yeah.
Both sides have had their moments.
Yeah, well defended. I think it's obvious that there's two good teams with good quality. I think we've probably edged the better chance or two. But certainly we've been better. We've been more forceful, shown a bit more desire at the top end of the pitch to go and close them down, which doesn't let them play good quality forward balls to cause our back three problems.
From the goal kick, Rodriguez wins it again. I've been pleased with Rodriguez this half. I think he's done really well. Ball's headed clear. James can't quite get to it, and now Wrexham under pressure as O'Connell slips. Not say 2-2's in here, left channel, forced wide, hits the bar. Well, credit to Cleworth, who again kept up with him well, put him under pressure, forced him wide, but it was a good hit by, I'll say 2-2, and the Okonkwo couldn't reach it. Wrexham rode their luck a bit.
Yeah, and again, it's O'Connell just losing his foot in, again, just off balance, trying to get back. It just gives Osatutu that little extra yard. Max Cleworth, again, shows his pace really well, does really well to recover and just put him off slightly, I think, at the final part. But nice strike, just doesn't hit the target.
Well, that's two decisions that have gone our way by players in this Bolton team, because if he just plays that across, Sean is in the middle of the goal, just ready to tap it in, and he decides to go for the shot.
As Smith wins the header from the goal kick this time, and Rodriguez has fed Revan, level the edge of the box, drills it in, wins a throw by the corner flag.
Yeah, Revan did really well there. There's two on him. I'd like Tom O'Connor to get involved with him though.
Here he is, and he's managed to whip it in the goal mouth. Good header, clear. It was a nasty ball in, dropped under the bar, but Forrester was there. Forrester's been excellent in the centre of defence of Bolton as O'Connor receives a header from O'Connell, which isn't the kindest, and can't keep it in. Throw in then to Bolton, 30 yards out or so from their own goal. 2.5 minutes of the first half remain. As Dacres Cogley taking his time over it. Cute bit of play by Johnson to flick it away from Smith.
Yeah, both Reven and Longman have been really good, haven't they, in those out wide areas, just looking immediately to get that ball into the box and find the strikers in Rodriguez and Smith. We just need to make sure we're getting the ball out to them as much as we can.
Good interception by O'Connor, and James lifts it, looking for Smith, headed partly clear, but Rathbone's done well to win it. Rodriguez hits a shot, referee gives a free kick against Rathbone for climbing, seemed a bit harsh. I just thought he read it better, if I'm honest, as a quick free kick is driven in with too much on it, straight through to Okonkwo.
Yeah, he gets up early, does Rathbone, and then probably uses him. Yeah, there's nothing in that really, is there?
Smith again gets a little flick on. That's about 4 or 5 in a row that the two Wrexham strikers have won in the air against the Bolton defenders. Dacres Cogley drills it over the top, and Collins is beaten in the air by O'Connell. Matty James leaves it for Dobson. Neat little square pass. Longman in his own half, charged down well by Morley, throw into Wrexham. Still 1-0 to Birmingham. Gardner Hickman scored the assist to Allsop, the keeper. Route 1 rubbish, innit, Birmingham? Get what you pay for. Cleworth throws down the line. Again, Rodriguez wins it well. Smith looks to hook it wide instantly. Revan's nowhere near where he put the ball, but he nearly gets there with his pace. But Dacres Cogley does well, hooks it down the line. Here's Shern, cutting onto his stronger left foot. Forced central by Matty James. The ball's works across in the end to the left-hand side. That's Murphy now. I'll say Tutu's ahead of him. Works it back to the halfway line side, and Bolton again. Shift from left to right this time. Dacres Cogley has got Shern inside. Clips a more ambitious pass. O'Connor, who's been very solid, heads it clear. Revan loses it, but again O'Connor's there to intercept. Revan into the middle of the pitch. Rodriguez hasn't got much to aim for. Tries to dig out a bit of a cute outside of the foot pass. It doesn't work. And now here's Murphy. I'll say Tutu, level the edge of the box, left-hand side. Rolls a good return pass. Murphy does well to cut back on his right foot. I'll say Tutu again. Can he deliver? He drives inside, finds Sheehan 25 yards out. Smith's done well to quickly get goal side and falls into pass wide. Shern puts a cross in. Too much on that. Stephen Schumacher down beneath us just makes a disgusted gesture. And that is half-time. The referee's added nothing on. And it's goalless at half-time, but Wrexham, we've made opportunities. Bolton, though, hit the bar. Remember, you can pop down now to the Wrexham YouTube channel and see Andy and Mia analysing the match. While up here, I'll go through your Ask Wrexham tweets and see what you guys have been chatting about. As I did like this one, actually. I saw this one from... the moment I say I like it, I touched the screen by accident. Oops. And it's gone. Right, I will be back in a second. Carla GS says, sunshine at Wrexham. It's the St. David's Day miracle. It was along those lines. Yes, this seems, to me, and I don't know, maybe I'm being a bit naive. This feels like a particularly harsh winter in terms of temperatures and precipitation. It's been really wet, although I think like the Sundays have been worse than the Saturdays. The women's games, we're constantly getting frozen. Oh, Todd, need to explain. Sorry, I did say at the very start of it, maybe you didn't catch it. I was saying Wycombe Wanderers ahead of the match. I was doing a couple of wild lines for Welcome to Wrexham, who needed a couple of lines recorded with crowd noise behind us. Right, now then, that's fine. I just amused me, this message. Oh, Neil Williams is here. Hi, Neil.
Afternoon, Mark. It is afternoon now, yeah. Thought I'd better go, but yeah, just about pronto, considering you complained last
it was
home game.
Well,
so
I mean, I wasn't just... I don't want to say
I was pushing people out of the way. No.
Well, chatting with people was what you said at the time, so shocking. Ken Priest and Ask Wrexham, I found it, said, had to put my sunglasses on to watch today. Why is it so bright? Yeah, sun it's called, isn't it? Is it called
beautiful,
sun?
sunny spring feel like St. David's Day.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
And happy St. David's Day, everybody.
I'm not wearing a coat. You're yes, yeah. You got a shirt over the coat. That's a sneaky bit of deception. That I reckon.
A fleece.
A fleece. Is a fleece a coat?
No.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Yes.
We're answering all the big philosophical questions here.
Apart from the football.
Exactly. Okay. Oh, all right then. What did you think of the football, Neil?
I've enjoyed it, Mark, to be honest.
Yeah.
Neither team have created a massive amount in front of goal, apart from us putting in the back of the net when the ref deemed we fouled their keeper. But apart from that, they hit the bar. Entertaining game. Nobody's really dominated. We've created a few good chances. Revan has done well. And they could catch us on the break. But no, I've enjoyed it. We just need a win, Mark.
Yeah, exactly. So Birmingham are winning, so they're doing a favour for us. We just need to make sure that we can get 3 points. But like I said, it looks like two good teams out there, doesn't it? You can see, third against, well, they're 8th, but they're equal on points of 6th, aren't they?
Yeah.
And as the two teams above them play against each other, Bolton have got an incentive. They'll know that a win here and they'll be in the playoff positions tonight. But yes, it's looked decent. Revan has built on his performance at Mansfield, I thought. Yeah,
definitely so. Longman's looked, dangerous on the other wing as well. Yeah, the ball was running kindly a bit more for us. We could have been 1-0 up, but I could say exactly the same. Bolton could be 1-0 up. Crew had slipping air back and letting that guy run in on goal, and fair play to him. He hit the bar. Inch lower, that would have been 1-0 Bolton, but really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed the game. And I just want exactly the same in the second half, but one goal. I'd be happy with the 1-0 result. We had them in the Virtue Trophy when Cannon scored in the 70th minute. I'd be really happy with that.
Oh yeah, I'd have that. Most definitely. I don't think Cannon's going to score.
No, he's not going to score. No.
I've just lost, as ever, reception from the Wi-Fi. But there was a good question, which was asking whether, what the story is with Mullin, who of course isn't on the bench again. I'm still inclined to think the bottom line is injury and
still in rehabilitation. Really, he's still getting back. I mean, you keep to a strong team. The team played very well away last week at Mansfield. Why change it? We were quite dominant at Mansfield, and it's very difficult to change that team. And there's no reason to change that team if they're playing well. I mean, there's been a few stray balls today, but that happens in every football game. And we're playing to our favourite end in the second half, towards the tech end, the SToK Cold Brew coffee stand. Hopefully we'll see 1 or 2 goals flying in the end of the ground.
That wouldn't be bad, would it? Wouldn't be bad at all. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to get some reception on something so that I can actually get onto the Ask Wrexham questions. But yeah, certainly returning to Mullin as well. I mean, the truth of the matter is that, I know I keep saying it, hasn't had 2 pre-seasons in a row. That's going to make a big, big difference.
Yeah, and perhaps he needs this season, on the sidelines and basically on the fringe to get back to his full fitness and have a full summer then to get back to full fitness before we start the pre-season friendlies in July time.
Well, I thought he did amazingly well last year to get himself going, and by the end of the season. But certainly, it's you would hope that if he can't do that again, then at least at half time, pre-season, get a proper pre-season then, and be able to get going next year. Let's not write the guy off, guys. Right, let's have a look. I've managed to get a little bit of reception here. As well, there's a lot of American fans here today.
A lot of Americans, yeah. Apparently some Greek fans and Spanish fans here as well.
Yeah, I bumped into the Spanish guys. The Spanish Peña, the Costa del Sol Peña. That's darn cool. some guys had come over from Ireland as well. A couple come over from Leith, right in the heart of Ireland. It's a real international feel today.
I think there's Irish fans here at every game, to be fair, but I think there's quite a big contingency of American and Canadian fans here today at the SToK Cae Racecourse ground, and it's good to see the ground totally full again, even for an early kickoff.
Karen Salisbury says, big hello from Qatar. Can't wait to catch a game when I'm home in August.
Wow.
Boy, we have branches everywhere.
We do, we do. I mean, there was lots in Australia this morning, all celebrating St David's Day, and Wrexham fans, and it's just amazing to see each week, Mark. I can't believe how we've got fans all over the world now.
It is fantastic,
who
isn't
genuinely
it?
follow this team and feel the passion of this team.
Diane says, howdy to you, Neil. The Thunder Bay Reds say, enjoy the sun for us, because as you can see, they've got thick snow. Oh, not nice at all. Ben Parker on Arse Wrexham says, thoughts and prayers to everyone at the Wrexham game today. Looks like there's a sniper in the stand targeting Bolton players. Aidenby Island says,
I'd asked him to re-aim and then get the ref.
Oh, why? What's he done?
I don't think he's having a brilliant game, is he?
No?
No.
Why? What's he done?
All the shirt pulling down here on Wrexham, he's not given a thing for.
Yeah, true.
A little one over there on the box, and he gives him a free kick.
That's all refs, though, isn't it?
Wow.
He could have given them a penalty, I thought, when Dobson went lunging in after that free kick.
But wasn't on the edge of the area anyway.
Looks hard to tell looking at the replay. Although, like I said, when you're just watching a stream back, it's hard also sometimes to judge, to look at it properly, because you're not getting it instantly afterwards. So it's a bit tricky in that regard. But
so do you think there'll be any changes half-time, Mark? Or
No, definitely not.
No.
I mean, I think maybe, the usual thing, innit? 20 minutes
70
left.
minutes.
But then Rodriguez has looked good to me. He's done well. He's been linking it well. He's won a lot of headers.
Yeah, and we had Smith. Should have done far better with his header, where he headed it in the ground and then it bounced over the bar. And that was our best chance of the game, to be fair. And it should have been 1-0 Wrexham, but...
Yeah, it was a big chance, that, wasn't it?
Huge.
A really big opportunity. Didn't quite manage to take it, as we see a meeting of great minds here. Wayne Phillips and Mark McGregor shaking hands at the end of the press bench. Happy days. Jim from Monticello says Smith's head is just too hard. That's the reason.
Yeah.
Oh, we got Joe Rodriguez says, first visit to the racecourse. Now let's hope we can deliver a result for you as well. Jarvis says, keep me updated on Arse Wrexham happenings, as I'm on the lookout for... Now, that emoji, is that a crocodile? It looks like a crocodile to me. It could be a newt, of course. At that size...
A big newt.
There's so little difference between newts and crocodiles, isn't there?
Of course.
It's like one chromosome or something, isn't it? I don't know. I did German, not biology.
Oh, I did do biology, but we didn't cover crocodiles, really.
No.
We don't have many in the UK.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. We have newts, to be fair.
We do.
Yeah. There's not much else to say about that, is there really?
No.
But nonetheless. Yeah, Cryptic is right, saying on Arse Wrexham, Rodriguez starting to combine with his new teammates more fluidly.
Yeah. And it's going to take a while for that to happen, isn't it? Because they're both new. Both our strikers are new to this, been here in just over a month. So it's as we said on Wednesday, it's going to take a while for them to bed in.
Yeah. Anthony Chan, as me and the boy Magic watching the game. Magic looks like a cool, fluffy black cat. I'm impressed. As Neil moves away to the east. Actually, that's not the east. I mean, yeah, it was the east, actually. Yeah, he's right. Initially east.
South, I'd say. West is over that way.
Is it?
Sun's over there, going to set.
Oh, yeah, the sun's the giveaway, isn't it?
East will be behind us, yes.
Yeah.
So south.
Yeah. Well, he's going to head down the steps, which is east.
Yeah.
I'll
see you later,
Quick
Mark.
footwork, eh?
Cheers.
Nice one, Neil. Enjoy the second half. Let's hope that we can get a winner. As they finish their stints down on the sides of the pitch. Oh, gosh. I haven't mentioned the women's game yet. I feel ashamed. Oh, I've just seen as well, Nars Wrexham, Jason Wrexham Phoenix is over again, and they're having a great time. In fact, I believe there's 6 Wrexham fans, all from Arizona. Was it 6 or was it more? So we're going to have a meeting of the Wrexham Arizona chapter at some point this week, I think. Brilliant stuff. But yeah, I had before the match, I did my little 10-minute stint talking to a former player, and it was a man who you generously softened up a defence for, Adrian Cislevic. So you very kindly softened up Grimsby's defence for him.
Yeah, no, lovely lad, and a really good player. Just unfortunately, he had everything for me. He had everything that you'd want in a winger or a player. He had absolutely ridiculous pace. He had really good tight skill, and he had a finish on him when he got into those positions. Maybe just between the ears was a little bit of a doubt to his own confidence, really, more than anything, and his own belief. But great, he did really well for us. And he's done brilliantly at TNS, hasn't he, as well?
Yeah,
He's won many a trophy, so good on him.
And of course, he's playing in Europe this season, which is fantastic. He's loving it. He said he hasn't got the legs he used to, but he's still enjoying playing, getting a chance to play.
He had a bad injury as well at one point, didn't he, to his head? So just great to see him back playing, even off the back of that.
He was, like I said, a terrifying pace that he had up front. And I was saying to him, he's one of the few players, well, certainly from the early days in the National League, who came in from like an academy setups in the Premier League, who actually adapted to playing in the National League. Because Dean Saunders brought in a lot of players, an awful lot the season before you came, when I think that was his policy.
Yeah.
And they were technically much better than the National League, but they get ground down after a couple of games. And
physically, they're capable, very capable, but it is between the ears. A lot of it of playing at that level, going relentlessly, game after game, week after week. And I think Dino just worked out that he still needs those ham and eggers, similar to me and Kreitz, around it to just help and direct those boys and try and forge a career for them, and some of them certainly did that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking about that as well. We had a lot of good players coming in who didn't, sustain it. Ryan Flynn came from Liverpool, and he did a good sustained job. And we also were rather unlucky because Joe Allen played a game and a half and then had a season-ending injury, and he looked unbelievably good.
Turns out he was all right.
Yeah, he was decent, wasn't he? Yeah. And Richie DeLate, who ended up converting into an A-League striker, bizarrely.
Right. Yeah.
But he looked really a cut above, but he got injured as well and went back to United as we're ready to start the second half. Man United, not Colchester United, in case anyone's wondering. And here we are, Wrexham, as Neil said, kicking towards the SToK Cold Brew Coffee end. Can we capitalise? Immediately, Forrester wins a good header on the edge of his area. And now Dobson scrapping away in midfield. In the end, forces us Tutu to lay it back. And the ball's driven down the left flank. McAtee scrapping with Cleworth. O'Connell comes in and says, I'll get rid of that, and just hoofs it through to Southwood in the goal for Bolton. So Southwood, Wrexham of course got a really good front foot start to the first half. Can they do the same now in this fascinatingly tight match? O'Connell unchallenged heads it forwards. Revan is beaten in the air, but the second ball is won by Rathbone, and a nice layoff that by Smith. Revan skips past his man nicely, can't keep it in though, unlucky. He and Longman though, wow, we've been saying for the last couple of years how our strength is in our wing backs, and now we've got two different wing backs who look terrific. It's good work by Dobson again. He finds O'Connor, who lifts it over the top. Bolton went offside, but Smith has time to run well again. Holding it up by the corner flag. Dacres Cognate as well to get in and clear. Rathbone, no. First to the second ball. Revan by the corner flag. Two defenders on him. Can he knock it off one of them? No, he's robbed well. Schön, little pass inside to Goodwin, and he gets the ball back. Good recovering tackle though. Dispossesses him by Rathbone. And again, Wrexham showing hustle in the early stages of a half. Cleworth plays it forwards, O'Connor. It's intercepted though. Schön forced to go back to the halfway line. Rathbone loses balance and knocks him over. Crowd don't like that, but looked like a foul from this distance.
Yeah, the ball rode to O'Connor. It is the right decision to go. He's just got to go underneath it and just leave it in behind him and let Smith run again. He's made one already run and got on the end of it. You just got to leave it in there, but he just scuffs it a little bit and sort of puts Bolton in the ascendancy.
So free kick on the halfway line for Bolton. They're not in a great rush to take it, as in the end it's rolled backwards. Forrester into midfield. Sheehan immediately put under pressure by Dobson as to go back to his keeper. Southwood, right-footed, looking on the flank. Cleworth as well, gets their first, heads out of play. Throw to Bolton, 15 yards short of the halfway line. It's Murphy with the ball in his hands. Throws it back to Johnston. Murphy once more. Dobson steps up to stop him from turning. Johnston drills it long. O'Connell attacks that, wins it well. But Bolton will get to that loose ball, and Forrester now has it on the edge of the D. Just no real settled pattern yet in the second half, as O'Connell again wins a comfortable header away, but Bolton receive it from his head, and again moving around at the back. They feed it down the right. Good movement by McAtee. He goes for the return pass as well from Shearn, but it's overhead, and O'Connell drills it away. Throw in.
I think he maybe could go back to a Okonkwo again. I know it's on his weaker foot, but he probably makes up a little bit more ground than just putting it out of play.
Bolton take it short, and a snappy little spell of short passing drags Wrexham across, and now they shift it back and across to the left-hand side. Johnston, in fact, goes centrally before helping it on. He's got that wrong now. Can Wrexham break? Longman is running at Murphy. Johnson getting back to cover, but Longman plays it in. That's a cute dummy by Rodriguez. Smith back to goal on the D. He's tackled, but he keeps going, and he feeds it nicely to Revan in space. Rathbone demands and gets it left side the box. Takes a touch, hits the goal line, drills in the cross and wins the corner. That one little lapse of concentration by Johnston, and suddenly the crowd are up and Wrexham are looking threatening.
Yeah, great dummies, little over from Rodriguez, but Smith doesn't quite read it, and then gets it out to Revan, who slides Ollie Rathbone in down the side and gets his corner.
So an in-swinger, Rathbone to take. Again, lots of bodies in the goal mouth. It's swept in, right-footed, a bit more height on that, and O'Connell knocks it down in the goal mouth as a scramble, but Southwood drops onto it and smothers the ball. Caused a bit of an issue there with the set piece. Good to see.
Yeah, it was a lovely corner in from Rathbone, just almost floats it, which normally you sort of back the defending team to deal with, but O'Connell gets up, wins that first one, and then it's just a little bit scrappy. I'm just not sure whether he just can't get that strong enough connection on it. No.
Yeah, it just gets sort of a knee shin on it, but no power.
It's long ball forwards for Smith. He looks to take it on the chest. Sheehan's done well. Beg your pardon, Rodriguez. Sheehan's done well to get in between man and ball. And it's cleared. O'Connor again wins a good header. Well controlled by Forrest in his own half. A little polite round of applause from the Bolton fans for that, as he has it again on the edge of his area. Rodriguez looking to put him under pressure. Chipped to the halfway line. Shearn chests it down inaccurately. O'Connor hooks it away. It's Forrester feeding, and Sheehan put under pressure by Dobson. Forced the back pass. Dobson chasing the keeper. That always gets the crowd going, and as Southwood comfortably passes it away again, Dobson chases Johnston for a bit. I'd say never a great chance really of winning it, but the sort of energy fans enjoy. Southwood's just hesitated there as he's trying to pass it around at the back, but played an accurate pass. Sheehan under pressure, and in the end he's lucky as he was tackled that Bolton picked up the loose ball. Longman now sprinting forwards with pressure on Bolton, looking to move it around on the edge of their area, and Wrexham committing players forwards. There's a ball over the top on here, and just like that first Peterborough goal, Wrexham had a ragged back line, which means that the flag rightly stays down, and Collins squares it. Chance for a shot here from outside the box. Morley works it wide instead. Cross comes in, well defended, headed behind by Rathbone for the corner, but again that line wasn't right.
Yeah, he was definitely onside. He watched it really well, Collins. It's Tom O'Connor, I think maybe he's just caught ball watching a little bit and just loses track of where the rest of his defence is. And he's just that little bit deeper, so it allows Collins that extra space on this left-hand side. He does really well, but Bolton work it well. But then well defended by Rathbone when that cross comes in.
So, corner, away swinger. And Bolton trying some difference. All bar one are outside the box looking to make a run into the danger area, and it's pulled in behind them. Longman heads it away comfortably. Whether they were a decoy and they're trying to float it in for a shot on the edge of the box or not, it didn't work, but here they are now driving forward, so Wrexham get their shape right. That's a brilliant 1-2. Ball's pulled back, a big chance. Johnson feeds in, and a real scramble 6 yards out. In the end, a block comes in, and a flag goes up for offside as the Bolton fans celebrate, but goodness me, what a scramble that was.
Well, I'm not quite sure how that ball hasn't ended. I know it has ended up in the back of the net, but lawfully hasn't ended up in there, because it's such a good bit of play. Just not sure whether they just, to be fair, Wrexham defend it well. They just get bodies in front of that ball, make sure there's not one opportunity for one clean strike in there for Bolton from really close in.
Well, thankfully, I think two Bolton players get in each other's way as it just coming into the box for the pullback. They just take each other's eye off the ball and aren't able to make it. And then they throw bodies. It's like a scene for a platoon in there as there's bodies lying around everywhere.
Yeah, it was Schön working a fabulous 1-2 with McAtee that opened Wrexham up completely.
Yeah, it was Johnston, wasn't it, the defender who ends up quite far forward.
Now here's Wrexham coming forward. Smith on the left, floats it in. Longman's after this, headed away from him for a corner. Opportunity starting to open up. Just looking at that scramble again, O'Connor makes a fantastic challenge. And in the end, it was squeezed in by Schön, but the flag had already gone up. So, here's Wrexham now, with a chance from a corner. Can we cause a problem? Wrexham fans making great noise, been a super atmosphere here. As O'Connor puts it into the near post. Ooh, it's a bit of bargy there. Wrexham asked for the penalty. And the ball is hooked back in dangerously. Smith is offside. The initial shout for the penalty, I mean, was it Rodriguez at the near post? Defender seemed to have his back to the ball and was like grabbing hold of him, pushing him away. But well, the angle from the first camera doesn't really show it properly. As Cleworth intercepts. Well, he did ask for it, although maybe not as eagerly as if he really thought it was a foul. Wrexham moving around at the back. Bolton stepping up to press. Good ball down the line by Cleworth. Longman can't keep it though, as he's under pressure, touch-tight pressure from Murphy. And Bolton get the ball back. O'Connor's first chance to take a corner in this half. Rathbone's had all of them so far. As Wrexham win the ball back out the fish. Bolton wanted the foul, but here's on the edge of the area. Smith digging out a pass to Dobson, works it out wide. Early cross from Rathbone is a good one. Oh, and it's just flicked wide. Smith attacks it at the near post. Rodriguez was in the centre of the 6-yard box. I think he just got a touch on it. But another opportunity for Wrexham, a half chance at least.
Yeah, and he's angry at himself, isn't he, Jay Rodriguez? I think he feels like maybe he's just misjudged it. Comes in good pace. Not sure if Sam Smith actually gets a touch first, maybe not. But yeah, Rodriguez just doesn't expect it to land as close to him as it does.
I think Johnson does quite well actually. He just gets his body in the way. Just gets him up. And yeah, he just drives blindside, but it's just behind him, isn't it? The ball disappears behind Johnson and then appears. But you expect him to get some sort of touch on it.
Again, though, really good quality from Longman, wasn't it? Out wide, wasn't it?
Really ripped it in beautifully. As we have just had the 55th minute applause that sadly massive Wrexham fan Neil Williams, not the Neil who we've just been talking to obviously, who sadly passed away suddenly at the age of 55, and it was lovely to hear that applause. He hasn't missed a Wales home game since 2016. He would go away for the international matches, so good to hear that on St David's Day we're able to give an appropriate tribute to such a loyal and proud Welshman. Here is Dobson now. Longman's making a run on Dobson, sees it and feeds a beautiful ball in over the top. Longman now has got the two strikers attacking the 6-yard box, dinks it in, good header clear, but drops on the edge here. Rathbone slams it in, it's blocked. He's shouting for a penalty. Ref not interested, and he was the only one shouting, and Dobson will get a yellow card now for pulling his man back. But wow, again, Dobson has done well in the middle of the pitch. That was a lovely ball to Longman.
Yeah, it's great vision. He just puts it in that space, knows Longman's got the legs to run onto it, and Longman almost does everything right. I think maybe could he put it in that little bit earlier? I'm not too sure, but then Rathbone's on the edge, make contact really well. I think it's always going to be a difficult one to give for a penalty if it does hit his hand. I'm not sure if it does.
Yeah, I was wondering that as well. Longman just wanted to make sure, didn't he, really take it to the goal line and try and dink it in, put it on a plate. As Wrexham get a free kick. Shame that, actually, because Dobson pings a terrific ball out to Revan. But Smith was fouled. Free kick in midfield. To be fair, it was a good defensive header, wasn't it? Under the bar.
I think it just takes maybe one touch too many as the boys are going into the box. Smith and Rodriguez takes an extra touch, which the gap then closes.
Make a really similar run though as well, don't they? Smith and Rodriguez just wonder, could one of them have just dropped off?
Wrexham work the free kick well. Cleworth is halted, but Dobson is quickly to it. And that's a good decisive touch by James. Picks up O'Connor in space, driving forwards. Works it out swiftly to Revan. He's got his man isolated. Onto his right foot. Swings it into the far post. Longman is there. Heads it back in the goal mouth. Oh, and it's missed. Unbelievable miss that. Well, it just had to be a goal, it looked like. And O'Connor, unmarked, 6 yards out. Well, listen to the hubbub in the crowd. Nobody can believe that Wrexham haven't just scored. That was a sitter and he blazed it over.
Well, yeah, Mark, absolutely that. I haven't got the words to describe that one. You won't get an easier chance than that this season to get a goal, Tom O'Connor. Wow.
Good cross by Revan, back post. Longman, good header back in, and we've got an overload in the middle because it's Rodriguez, just eases his man out the way. He just needs to roll it in.
Here's Longman as well, flicks it over his man and comes out with the ball on the other side. Wrexham buzzing now. Here is Rathbone, brilliant turn. Rathbone carries to the edge of the area. Back out to Longman. Wrexham suddenly enjoying this. Longman's cross too close to the keeper, but he doesn't hold it, and Rathbone puts it over. Oh, another big chance. I've got to be honest, Bolton aren't happy it wasn't a foul on the keeper. And I think they may have had a case, but nonetheless, Rathbone with a glorious chance and again blazed over.
No, and like I said for the O'Connell one earlier, you've always got to challenge the keeper in those scenarios. Don't make it easy for him. It's exactly what Jay Rodriguez does, or is it Sam Smith? Sam Smith, sorry. And then Ollie Rathbone just can't quite get over it. For a man in goal-scoring form like him, you almost expect that one to go in.
It's a tougher chance than the O'Connor one because it just bounces in front of him and it's really difficult to get over the top with any power. But that one's not a free kick for me. Smith's all in his right to go for that. Goes and challenges. Keeper's not in control of the ball. But surprise, it's Rathbone on to the second ball. And just can't quite get his foot over it and it goes up and wide. You're better off scuffing it, really.
Yeah, Bolton being quite wise here.
Yep.
Listen, I'm not discrediting them. He might actually be injured, but just taking the sting out of this game because the racecourse just absolutely erupted over these last few minutes with the big chances Wrexham have had. Really got that momentum. Bolton just looking to try and kill it.
They got a couple of subs right to come on. I'll say Tutu might well be one of the players to come off, but he did a great job going down there, I think, because like I said, we had them exactly where we wanted them. We should have scored in the last 2 minutes. Whether he's okay or not, yeah, he's wise to go down.
So much better, though, from Wrexham. In those 1v1 situations, they've been a lot better, a lot brighter, a lot more positive. Longman coming into the game a lot more. They're both getting high and wide now, asking questions of those fullbacks. But it's Rathbone that chops inside, isn't it? Uses the run of Longman as a decoy to then leave the ball in there, enables Smith to go and challenge the keeper that lands at Rathbone's feet. You can't take away that O'Connor, blimey. I know I've missed some chances in my career, but if you want a ball to fall just inside the 6 yard box No pressure. He just has to roll it into a corner and just blazes it up over the bar.
Well, I'm biased towards goalkeepers, but now I've finally seen a replay of the shout for a foul before the Rathbone chance. That's not a foul, is it? Smith's got up and challenged, and Southwood's got over the top and got a punch in. As from the restart, O'Connell heads it clear. I'll say 2-2 is going to come back on. Sammy Shearn has been subbed. And as Wrexham again burst forward, that's a good pass down to the left-hand side. Rathbone's attempt to play an early ball to Revan is intercepted, though. It's Carlos Mendes who's come on as the ball is fed in towards the edge of the area. And well one back on the edge of the box as well by Rodriguez. It ricochets for the goal kick. I'll say 2-2 is allowed to come back on now. Booed by the Wrexham fans, but did a good job for his team, I think, there, to be honest.
Yeah, it was a brilliant couple of second balls, in transition. When we've just given it away, we've got it back straight away. So change of formation for Bolton. Matched us up a little bit.
James again in midfield. Oh, lovely drag back by Dobson. He cuts inside, fakes to play it wide, finds Rathbone. The fans moaning at Rathbone for popping it straight back to O'Connell, but he was looking backwards, and I think reasonable to play it the way he's facing. Miscontrol by I'll say 2-2. And Wrexham have it back. Dobson, the edge. Smith, unlucky, tries to lay it off for Longman. Doesn't quite get it right. The ball's cleared. O'Connor, tremendous header. Partly cleared by Forrester. And he's picked up Collins, who drills it long over the top. McAtee's not going to get onto that. Wrexham really turning the screw. Stephen Schumacher looks angry down there. Revan holding her up. It's a good foot in by Dakers Cogley, but Wrexham are picking the ball. The second ball's now. 64th minute. Still no score. Wrexham are pushing hard here. Longman in his own half over the top, and that's a tempter. Rodriguez on the chase. Southwood will come, and he takes that on the edge of the area. Judged it well. But again, Wrexham just asking questions. Smith now hassling his man. Throwing goes Bolton's way. About 35 yards out. But again, we've worked hard in the opposing half. Smith has done a lot of the dirty work, hasn't he? Chasing things down, holding it up, just getting challenges like that in.
We've been better with the ball, though, Mark. When we've got it, we've been able to make a few passes, found a few spaces, and when we're in those 1v1 situations, we've been better.
Oh, absolutely. It's been a really good 10 minutes this from Wrexham. Wickham had a player sent off and are still trailing 1-0 at Birmingham as Revan makes a clearance. Good controlled header. Again by Rodriguez, who makes a good break down the left, and it's a good ball to him by Rathbone. Only Smith in the middle. Dobson sprinting in. Rodriguez hits it and pulls it wide from the edge of the box, but worth a go. He's angry with himself again. But I've enjoyed watching Rodriguez today. He's still got all those nice little touches and little things off the ball, which he's been doing well since he came. But he's having a bit more of an impact on the opposing defence as well.
Yeah, I think he's been really good today. Seen a bit more of him. I spoke in that Mansfield game, I think it was, about, he's an intelligent player. Sometimes he goes under the radar a little bit, just in terms of his runs, off the ball movements. You don't really, end up talking about him too much, but today he's been really lively.
Bolton with the ball at the back, bit of respite, not for long. I'll say 2-2 is mugged brilliantly by Cleworth. Oh, unlucky. Dobson pinned a great ball to Smith. It just caught his heel as he tried to receive it and run on goal. Rathbone now looking for the pace of Revan. Just shows enough of it to Dakers Cogley, but Revan, good strength, wins it back. Throwing to Wrexham, level the edge of the area. Such heart from Wrexham in this half. They're really doing well physically as well. Like that, Revan using his strength. Throw in taken, held it well by Rodriguez. Back to Revan. There's a nice little break into the box by O'Connor, which makes room for Rathbone. He whips it across, intercepted by Sheehan. Cleworth gets up, heads it back towards the edge of the area. Helped on again, but partly clears. Cleworth again, a powerful header into the box, and Rodriguez nicks the ball off a defender. Feeds it backwards. Rathbone has to go wide. Revan sets it up. Smith gets up and can't get a proper contact on it, but Longman retrieves it. Again, Bolton blocked in. Lovely footwork by Longman. He hits her against Osote and gets it back, but not a good cross for once from him. And the ball is cleared. O'Connell heads it partly away. Comes back in again for him. Again, he heads into midfield. Dobson misjudges his header. It hits his arm. The ref doesn't give the foul, though. And Dobson pings one into the edge of the area. Smith gets it well, helps it on. It's well read though by Dacres Cogley. He clears it. And O'Connor now defending, does well, hooks it out of play. Dacres Cogley is such a threat going forwards, but it's been his defensive qualities we've seen today, unlike that Virtue Trophy match when he was really dangerous up and down the right flank. He's had his hands full of Revan, hasn't he? There's Dobson. Just seems to be everywhere. Cleworth knocks it long, that's inaccurate. Miscontrolled though by Tutu, and Longman's nicked it from him, and that could be a yellow card as Longman is pulled to the ground. Longman's really causing him issues.
Yeah, he pickpocketed him, didn't he? Touch wasn't great, bounced up. That's the one where you nick in, get a little toe. Got himself goal side of offside Tutu, and was able to then buy the foul, and it's a yellow card.
I seem to remember Sheehan getting booked for dissent when we played in the trophy game, and he certainly has. He's been conducting a constant monologue at the referee. What on earth he's complaining about for that? I have no idea, because that was a cast iron yellow. So Bolton again with everyone back defending. Longman took a bit of time getting up, and he's trotting back into his position now. Rathbone will take this. I'll say Tutu is the one-man wall. And Bolton holding a line right on the edge of the box. Just past the halfway mark in the second half, and Wrexham have really stepped up. Can they get a goal to cap it all? Rathbone, that's an inviting ball in, defender misses his header, and it hits a side netting, ricocheted off a Wrexham player. I think it might be an O'Connell at the far post, but good delivery again from Rathbone.
Yeah, he's putting them in, isn't he? Really inviting. You're just hoping that a Wrexham shirt's going to be on the end of it. And I think it is O'Connell at that back post. Just gets away from his man really well. It's a massive chance. Morley just completely switches off. O'Connell's the favourite all day long, and he just doesn't get it right.
As he wins a free kick, O'Connell. That's good work. McAtee leaned into him as they raced for the ball. James wants to take a quick free kick as Longman was breaking down the right. Referee stops him.
It's actually a better chance than I thought, first thought, after seeing it again. It's really impressive by Rathbone. The way he runs up at the ball, he's running towards the corner flag, and then he's whipping it in, and that angle enables it to start it off at the keeper and bring it just away from him so he can't come and get it. It just drops in there, and like you say, O'Connell gets the wrong side of his man, and just a little arm on him just spins his body around so he can't just make a decent contact on it.
Yeah, it's at an awkward height, I think, to be fair to him, so he's just unsure what sort of part of the body to go for it with.
That's one big stat one in at the far post, headed down nicely, but it goes behind the Wrexham players. Longman will chase, but he won't get there. I'll say Tutu's managed to get away from him now as he carries this to the halfway line and wins the throw-in the end. Longman did well, just stood up well to get the block in. Taken quickly down the line. And Collins trying to roll past Cleworth, knocks it off him for the corner. What a respite for Bolton to be allowed to get into this position after the pressure they've been under.
Well, we just don't set up right straight away from we switch off. Collins is stood in acres by himself. Longman needs to come back, stand in front of him at least.
20 minutes left. Bolton with a chance from a set piece. Corner, left-hand side. Wrexham has shown a lot in this second half. They need to focus now. As Sheehan spots the ball down again, they're trying that corner where there's one man in the goal mouth. And lots of players outside the box are going to make their runs in now. It's swept in straight at the concourse. Awful delivery. Smith wants it delivered early. He's thrown it out instead to Dobson, who's surging up to the half end. Longman's in space and receives it. And a good first touch takes him past Tutu. Return ball to Dobson, right side the box. Pulls it in the goal mouth. Defender just gets a toe to it. Poor clearance. Longman can't quite get to it on the edge of the box. Goodness me, we're knocking at the door. Just not quite, well, I say not quite dropping for us, but when it does, we haven't taken advantage of it either, to be fair. As Collins, that's a good idea, but poor execution. O'Connor intercepts the attempt to play in Mendes, and now it's O'Connell. Allows James to take over. That's a good ball to Smith. He can't quite take it under control, and it's nodded back to the keeper well by Forrester. Whoa. Tell you what though, the intensity of this match or should I say the intensity of Wrexham in the second half of this match is quite something.
Yeah, we just weren't quite anticipating. I don't think, obviously, we weren't expecting Bolton to make such a mess of that clearance from that chance. Longman just a bit on his heels.
They've not been convincing defensively, I would argue, when we put those balls in.
Yeah, so just looking at their corner setup, Dean Saunders used to do this. He used to get everybody in the halfway line, and he used to go, look how long it takes the ball to get from the corner into the middle of the box. And he used to, as the ball got hit, he used to go 1, 2, 3, 4. It takes 4 seconds to get in there, so you don't need to be on the penalty spot and inside the 6-yard box. You could be stood outside the D to go and head it, and hence Bolton are doing exactly the same. They're leaving a massive hole for them to go and attack the ball.
They've picked up a yellow card there as well.
Yeah, they're causing their own problems a bit here,
Yeah.
Bolton. They look under a lot of pressure, just as Wrexham make the changes.
Longman comes off. He has been excellent.
Absolutely
he really
agree.
has.
Really good. And defensively as well when we've needed him. He's worked back hard. Now can Barney come on?
Yeah, that's quite a player to bring
And
on
fresh,
for the last
yeah.
17 or 15.
Well, we spoke about it before the game, about Ryan Barnett's involvement. Thought he looked really bright when he came on against Mansfield as a substitute. Didn't quite look at it Wednesday, but he's got a real opportunity in today's game to make the difference.
So McAtee comes off, and on comes Joel Randall. So Collins will be up front of Randall playing off him.
Surprised at that a little bit.
Yeah.
He's been in good form, 3 in the last 2 games.
I mean,
He hasn't been in this second half really though. To be fair, we've been so good, so dominant.
throw in taken. Rathbone feeding it back to the halfway line. Cleworth has the chance to feed Barnett in on the right-hand side. The change to 3 at the back doesn't seem to have helped Bolton much as the ball over the top of Dobson's a nice idea, but he looked at just offside, and the flag does go up. Yeah, the yellow card has said Dacres Cogley for time wasting on the throw-in. Now, the way the crowd have been reacting to his very tight marking on Revan, and as Neil said at half-time as well, I think a lot of the Wrexham fans might think this is a bit like getting Al Capone for tax evasion. He eventually gets booked for time wasting rather than manhandling Revan. But Bolton have been reeling. Can Wrexham apply the finishing touch? Long ball forwards. Cleworth with another good header. Smith tireless running this down the right channel, battling away with Forrester. Forrester does really well to keep his balance and come out with the ball. That's really good defending by Forrester. Sheehan now in his own half feeds it back to the keeper. Wrexham though have shown terrific energy as they're trying to make it difficult for Bolton to get out of their half. They managed to bypass the Presto, and it's a neat little pass inside by Randall for Mendes, who works it across. Johnson, the left side of centre back, getting up the pitch. Mendes is available as he makes a little break into the box, but it goes back to Johnson instead. And he switches the player now. There's an opportunity to bring it forwards again. It's a run put in by Dacres Cogley, but the pass to him by Tall is poor. Goal
Yeah,
kick.
just on that shape down, they've changed to a 3. I just think as that ball starts to get switched, I think I'd rather it go through all three centre halves for them than go and miss Smith out, because our whole shape then has to switch sides. If Smith can just drop a couple, put that pass off across from centre half to centre half, wide one to wide one if you like, then it just makes it just gives us a little bit more time to go and shuffle across and block gaps.
Well, that responsibility will be passed on in a moment because Fletcher and Marius are there, ready to take it. Okonkwo didn't get hold of his goal kick. Dacres Cogley started to be alert to beat Revan to it. And the ball is cleared to the halfway line. O'Connor beaten in the air by Mendes. Ball's worked squared or by Randall. Mendes did well to get to that. And Rathbone puts pressure on, but it's a good acceleration. He gets away, does brilliantly, helps it wide now. 2 men in the bundle. Cross comes to the near post. Randall can't get there. Is it a corner? It is. Important challenge there at the near post as Randall was running in. Was it Dobson again?
Yeah, it was. He did a great to track his man because he saw that O'Connell was down. Tom O'Connor was down and there was a free man in the middle.
So another corner again. They're setting up with the 1 man in the 6-yard box and the rest going to make runs in. as the ball is floated in towards the penalty spot, and Bolton get first contact, but Wrexham come try and break now. Rodriguez lifts over the top, looking for the pace of Smith. That's got too much on it. It wasn't the worst idea, and I liked how Rodriguez, he just stopped himself. He was about to make the clearance, and he thought, hang on a second, maybe I can do something here. But the pass had too much on it. Randall gives the ball away in the halfway line though. Cleworth now. Barnett is scurrying across into position on the halfway line. Still Fletcher and Marriott look on. Matty James in the centre circle, clips it, looking for Cleworth on the overlap. Lovely ball, lovely take by Cleworth. Drills it in the goal mouth. Great defending. Johnson at full stretch. Hits it against the corner flag into a roar from the crowd.
And
it bounces for the corner.
Mears just punched the air, get a corner off the corner flag.
Celebrate the little things. Celebrate the little things.
And we are going to make the changes before the corner's taken. I've enjoyed Smith and Rodriguez today.
Agree.
But they'll get a break now, you would assume. Fletcher and Marriott are coming on. Smith has come off. And yeah. Well, I mean, I say yeah, the fourth officials put up numbers that don't correspond to the players, but he put Rathbone's number up. Hang on. I mean, yeah, it is Rodriguez coming off.
Yeah.
Phew. I mean, no offence to Rodriguez.
I think they've both been good. I think we're desperate for a striker to start scoring.
Yeah. Corner to the far post, headed clear. Edge of the box, Dobson gets up, it ricochets off him and is smashed desperately away by Mendes.
Yeah, we just want one of these 4-5 Mullin, Fal, I don't care who it is, just to start scoring goals. And we had it last year with Mullin. He come really strong at this part of the season and just sort of got us over the line, and we just need one of them to just hit that streak, hit that form. Yes, they've played well today. We need goals.
Wrexham on the left-hand side. O'Connor floats in. Too much on that. And it's easy for Southwood to come out and take it. Still only 1-0 to Birmingham, despite playing against a Wycombe side of 10 men. As Bolton move it around at the back. 11 minutes left. And the ball into Randall, who nearly got robbed on the edge of his area then. It was a poor touch and James saw it and committed. And Randall just turned to his right. If he turned to his left, he'd have walked straight into the Wrexham midfielder. That's a good challenge by Rathbone in his own half, but it drops for Mendes on the right-hand side, 25 yards out. Wrexham get back quickly. James, good interception. Rathbone feeding it forwards. Doesn't pick out either striker. It's Johnston now. The Bolton fans urging their team forwards. That's a cute ball inside Barnes as well. And a dangerous opportunity as SToK pulls it back and Mendes scoops it over the bar. Big chance that. Lovely ball to feed SToK in, and he just, well, Mendes just couldn't control the finish.
Yeah, that's a bit of a warning flag for Wrexham. You know, he can dominate this game, but Bolton will still look dangerous on that counter-attack. And it's Barnett, just his first test defensively. Doesn't pass it at all. Just misjudges that tackle out wide on SToK, who does well just to keep that ball in and play it back in towards the edge of that box.
Yeah, I think the gap's a bit too big in between Cleworth and Barnett. Enables him to play that ball in. If Barney just takes a couple of steps back, it goes into SToK's feet.
Here's Revan now, helping it down the line. He'll roll out a play for a throw into Bolton, about 10 yards short of the halfway line, right-hand side.
Yeah, that's a good opportunity for Bolton, isn't it? Roll back, 12 yards out. Just got to hit the target, hope for a deflection, something.
O'Connell heads the ball out, throw in. Yeah, there's a real moment that. Totally against run of play, but we haven't scored during that period of control. Still no goals here. There's Forrester now playing in the centre of a 3. Helps it on, gets it back. Wrexham don't want to make it easy for Bolton to play out from the back. I'll say 2-2, heavy touch under pressure from Barnett, but James's tackle falls kindly. Mendes dinks it in for Collins' run, just as Collins changes his run. And now it's Cleworth, good play. Runs around for the throw-in by the corner flag. Mendes is lively. He's just coming back off injury. And he's had an impact coming on, just playing through the middle. Throw down the line. Fletcher heads it up in the air, battling for it, can't get to it in the end, and Matty James feeds it backwards and is taken out by Mendes. Mendes Gomez, so I'm going to use the Spanish patronymic naming system and call him Mendes. He comes from Equatorial Guinea, the one country in Africa that speaks Spanish. My wife wants me to go on pointless. Okonkwo with the kick. Fletcher gets up early, doesn't win it though. The ball's headed partly clear and Rathbone runs her out of play, throw into Wrexham. Wrexham are preparing another change. Elliot Lee, is that down there?
Yep.
Revan with the throw. 7.5 minutes left. Rathbone turns inside neatly, runs into trouble, but manages to get the ball back to O'Connell, who very deliberately puts it into Cleworth's path. Barnett is wide. Cleworth carries it forwards, works it. Oh, see, Tutu was just given the chance to get a toe in and did well to do that. Throw to Wrexham, level edge of the area. I'll say Totu throwing the ball, but not to the thrower. Little lucky, as the refs already given 1 yellow for time wasting, but here's Barnett with the ball in his hands. Dobson making runs to make himself available like he's got a wasp down his shirt. Marriott receives, floats it in the danger area. The defender doesn't deal with it well. And then Lucky did just about manage to hook the ball clear in the end. What was that, Toll at the far post who just let it bounce in his goal mouth? And just stooping header to nobody in particular. Here's Matty James now turning away from his man nicely and standing up a diagonal looking for Barnett. Lovely ball. Barnett nods it right back down. Dobson with the diagonal looking for Fletcher, just under hit, still needs defending though, and Revan's won it back. That's good. Fletcher sets it back on the flank, driven across the face, and Marriott heads over from 6 yards out. To be fair, he had no chance of controlling that, but if it had just come at pace that tiny bit in front of him, he'd have scored.
Absolutely, it's another big chance for Wrexham. Do really well as Revan again, just getting round his man, putting pressure and winning that ball back far up the pitch, and Rathbone just fires it across, and Jack Marriott's busting a gut to get in that box, and it just ends up, that ball ends up behind him. It turns into a really difficult chance.
Yeah, it's awkward, an awkward height and just behind, so anything that he's going to stoop and try and head, he's not going to manage to just put it back on target.
Yeah, I mean, it's really close range, but it's coming so fast and coming slightly behind him, and well, it more hit him than anything else, didn't it, really? And Rathbone has now been withdrawn for the last 5 minutes. Elliot Lee comes on. Wrexham, 5 minutes left to look for that winner. O'Connell jumps, but heads out of play square for a throw. I'll say Tutu will take. Throwing it in short, Mendes back to him. I'll say Tutu's forced backwards by the pass though. And Bolton again recirculating it through the back three. Tall. Decides to carry it to the halfway line and chip the ball over the top. O'Connor intercepts comfortably. And here's Elliot Lee's first involvement. Back to O'Connor, drills over the top. That's not a bad idea. Marriott's on the charge, brings it down, hits the shots and pulls it wide. I mean, it's not an easy finish. He had no support, but just a half chance.
Yeah, again, it's not an easy one, like you say, Mark, but for a player of Jack Marriott's quality, I think you just expect him to do a little bit better with that one, because he does well initially. Just gets that touch on it to bring it down. It just won't quite land quick enough for him. I don't think. It's just a bit too slow coming down, and he's got to make that decision early. Got to get that shot away.
I think he'd prefer Smith with his left foot on that one, you know, making that run, but Marriott still darts in behind. I think the first touch isn't fantastic for him. It bounces up.
Yeah, half chance. Doesn't go in as George Thomason is getting ready to come on, an experienced regulator of play through the centre of midfield, and Bolton looking to bring a bit of control to their game. 3.5 minutes left. Wrexham have a throw-in 30 yards out. It's Sheehan coming off. It's a like for like. And he's not in a rush to go off. Understandably, Bolton have been savaged in this second half, but they've held on. Thomason receives the armband. And Barnett is ready to take the throw.
There's more chances in this game.
Dobson pops it back to Barnett now, level the edge of the area. Dobson takes over and beats his man, driving down the right, his shirt being pulled, and when he turns it round the corner, well, Barnett had stopped his run, and it goes through to the keeper. Barnett arguing that he stopped his run because Dobson was being fouled. Parkinson turned, pointing an accusing finger at the fourth official. Dobson, I mean, has played really well, and if you want to compliment him, Rathbone got taken off before him. That's a fair assessment of what he's done.
Yeah, and I think he was a bit of a doubt before the game as well. Dobson wasn't sure on his ankle whether he was going to actually start the game, but boy, has he started this game.
Oh yeah. As Bolton win a throw-in, taken. Oh no, I was going to say it's a foul throw, but it was just being taken down a line to steal a few yards. Ref allowed it. Wrexham win it back anyway. Leaded well. Now O'Connell helping it on. Cleworth has to go long, looking for Dobson, who's up there supporting the strikers. It's headed away. Dobson now sprinting back, just beaten to it. Mendes clips a nice ball round the corner, gets a good return pass from Osei Tutu. And Mendes now in a central possession. Again, he's livened them up when they've been able to get forwards. It's worked over to the right-hand side and fed in towards the edge, but Morley's pass is inaccurate. It'll fall for Collins, who drills it. Oh, good save, Okonkwo. What a snapshot there from 10 yards out, and Okonkwo did brilliantly to get down to his right, push it behind for the corner.
We can see Randall in an acre of space in the pocket inside, and they try and work the ball to him, but it's the deflection that puts it right in the path of Collins. Good save, really good save, down to his right. It is close to him, still has to make the save though.
Corner then. Yeah, he did really well to get down to that. Those ones just outside your ankle are so hard to get down to. Here comes the in-swinger from Morley. Good header, clear by O'Connell. It'll be retrieved by Mendes on the right flank. Barnett has gone out with him. The fourth official is out as Mendes gets past Barnett, but can't keep the ball in play. Goal kick to Wrexham. And the fourth official comes out very early with that board, unless there's a substitution brewing. As Okonkwo takes the short goal kick. Cleworth now goes long, looking for Marius over the top again, and he's held off well by Forrester. Marriott put him under pressure, makes contact. Forrester makes sure the linesman sees it, and it's a free kick.
Yeah, he just wasn't subtle about it, was he? Marriott didn't hide it.
Yeah, Forrester did just ever so well though, because he stepped in his way, and so he can't get past him, which makes the run into the channel a little bit more difficult. Yeah, he shouldn't foul him though, really. But credit to the defender.
5 added minutes. Still 1-0 to Birmingham in their game against Wycombe. As Southwood needs to be careful here, as he wastes a bit of time. He steps up, hits it right-footed. The ball is flicked on. And the ref also had a fair bit on. We just lost 38 seconds. The board went up and the ball wasn't in play for a long time as Marriott looked to be fouled. Nothing given. Dobson is battling with Mendes. Mendes in the end goes to ground. And, well, the ref's got that wrong, I think, giving it to Bolton. I was watching Dobson thinking, careful mate, you're doing take a swing at him, and well, he didn't, and the ref's still giving it.
Well, exactly that. I didn't think Dobson did anything wrong at all. And you're absolutely right, he's on that yellow, he's got to be careful, and he knows it. He's just guarding Morley, I think it was, wasn't it? Just on that ball, just making sure he can't get past him.
So here's Morley with the free kick, floating it in towards the edge of the area. Fletcher, good header, clear. Thomason will retrieve it. Revan sprints out to him. Thomason sweeps a poor ball back in, and Cleworth can leave that. Okonkwo Revan wants it delivered early. Okonkwo doesn't. Crowd getting on his back. He knocks it long. Fletcher underneath it, backing into his man. Good header by Toll. Ball drops in the halfway and Randall miscontrols. Good sliding tackle by O'Connor. Revan bursts past Thomason, surging down the left-hand side. Thomason recovers well. Revan's still going, and in the end he's penalised. Well, I think that was very cute by Thomason. Just stepped across Revan's path and drew a clip on his heel. Southwood's coming out to demand a yellow against Revan, which is nonsense, but it wastes time. And Bolton threw the ball in the opposite direction to waste a bit more time. The ref didn't spot who did that, did he?
Well, 2 against 1.
He did.
I think Revan can maybe just be a little bit cuter and maybe just try and bring that foul for us to be able to put the ball in. Instead, Thomason does it. There's nothing to that, but Thomason just bought it well. I think Revan could have got one a little bit earlier in that passage of play.
I think it was Forrester who got the yellow for kicking the ball away. Ref did well to spot that. As O'Connell looking to make a defensive header. James drills it clear. Forrester does really well to control that high up on his chest. And he knocks a ball down the flank, which is worth chasing for Randall. But he clips Revan. And that's a free kick. Deep in Wrexham's half by the corner flag. 2 minutes of added time left. Okonkwo goes across to take the kick. The man of the match voted for by the fans is Longman.
Well, I think Matty James has been great. I think Dobson has been great. I think they've both done so well in that midfield.
Yeah, I think I'd lean towards Dobson. I think he's been everywhere. He's been all things to all men. As I say, Tutu under pressure. Hooks his clearance up in the air. Headed back to the keeper. There's a good one by Morley. Decisive play. Parkinson screaming at Fletcher to make Southwood pick the ball up as we approach the last minute of added time.
Well, it's been a decent game, really good game. Even despite the lack of goals, it's been 2 good teams going at it. I think Wrexham have been the better team in this second half and looked the more likely, but that one key chance to Collins and a really good save by Okonkwo, so maybe a draw, probably a fair result.
I think it's going to be that O'Connor chance that everyone looks back on, isn't it? Just felt absolutely massive. Still can't believe it hasn't ended up in the back of the net.
Bolton throw it down the line. And Steyer were coming forwards deep into the last minute. Like I said, there should be a good 40 odd the second added on as Marius does brilliantly to bring that down, hook it forwards. He's not quite kept it in though, unlucky. Yeah, they hit the bar as well, to be fair, at the end of the first half. They've had a couple of big moments, but Wrexham have really been putting the pressure on them throughout, especially the second half, and had moments of our own. Rathbone just putting it over. There's O'Connor defending, hoists it high in the air. James beaten to that. O'Connell looks to thrash it clear. He can't, but O'Connor does. Fletcher on his own up front does well to win it, but it's knocked forwards. Collins offside, surely. O'Connell heads it away. And the ricochet in midfield favours O'Connor. One last chance and lock it long. He launches it long, and Fletcher does brilliantly to bring that down. And has he won the free kick? Yes, he has. In a shooting position just outside the D. Nice.
Last kick of the game. Top bins, please.
That would be all right. I love what he's having with some garlic bread on the side. Fletcher did brilliantly then, didn't he? He's all on his own. I mean, it's a bit of an up and under from O'Connor. And he's just backed in, drawn the foul. Terrific that. O'Connor is on it. Just left of centre. Certainly enough distance for it to get over and under the bar. Over the wall and under the bar, rather. As Bolton have a 4-man wall.
It's perfect for a right footer. Perfect, but we've seen O'Connor just bring these back in from outside that post into that corner. So it could be either.
Yeah, Lee is the right-footed option. The referee is happy with the wall. Let's hope the keeper isn't in a few seconds' time.
Put somebody in his eye line.
Ref gives the go-ahead. O'Connor over the wall. Oh, so close. Everybody was on their feet. I thought it was in. Everyone's staying on their feet and walking away, actually, because there's the final whistle. Oh my word, so close to winning it with the last kick of the game. That's showbiz. Goodness me, that was a good game. I mean, fair play. Once again, Wrexham just illustrating why we're up there and competitive at the top of the table. Bolton came here on a run of 3 consecutive league wins, and they were clinging on, wasting time in that second half as Wrexham really pushed on. But that goal just wouldn't come. Chances were created for both sides, like we said, but ultimately a goalless draw. Wrexham getting back into the habit of keeping clean sheets at least, which is good news. And there were lots of positives. Like you said, midfield trio of Rathbone, James and Dobson were excellent for Wrexham and bossed it, especially in the second half. On the flanks as well, Revan doubling down after his excellent performance at Mansfield. He did really well again down the left. Longman so threatening on the right. And up front, Smith and Rodriguez combined well. Didn't quite get the chances dropping their way. Solid at the back, Wrexham, and Okonkwo, when required, made that excellent late save from Collins. It was a high-quality game between two sides who are gunning for promotion. And if the score remains as it is at St Andrews, last we saw it was 1-0 to Birmingham, Wickham having had a player sent off, then that will allow us to just creep a point closer to the automatic promotions point spots. Well, happy St David's Day to all of you. We've had an entertaining day on a lovely spring afternoon here. Wrexham going toe-to-toe with a strong Bolton side, not quite able to get the breakthrough, but certainly a point gained with the final score of Wrexham 0, Bolton Wanderers 0. We've been Mark Griffiths, Mia Roberts and Andy Morrell from Wrexham AFC.